Welcome to the Midnight Frequency, supported by Aurora Quantum. Tonight, we're not talking about ghosts. Not about disappearances or mysterious sounds. No, tonight, we're talking about the end. The end of everything. Not by nature's hand, not by some cosmic event, but by us. Because the terrifying truth? We've almost destroyed ourselves, more than once. Nuclear war, bioweapons, AI gone rogue. We've built doomsday devices, pressed the wrong buttons, and stood at the edge of extinction, only to step back at the last second. But the real question is, how many more times can we get that lucky? Let's start with one of the scariest moments in history. September 26, 1983. The Cold War was at its peak, and the Soviet Union had a system designed to detect incoming nuclear missiles from the US. That night, alarms blared. The system reported an attack. 5 American nuclear missiles were inbound. The Soviet Union had minutes to respond. If they launched their own missiles, it would mean all-out nuclear war. The world would be over before sunrise. But one man hesitated. His name was Stanislav Petrov. He was in charge that night. He saw the warning, but something felt off. Why would the US launch only 5 missiles? Why not a full-scale attack? It didn't make sense. So he made a decision that went against his orders. He waited. Minutes passed. No explosion, no impact. It was a false alarm. A glitch in the system. If Petrov had followed protocol, if he had done what he was trained to do, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. One man, one decision, that's all that stood between us and nuclear annihilation. Alright, so maybe nuclear war didn't happen, but what if I told you there are actual nuclear bombs lost around the world, just waiting to be found? They call them broken arrows, nuclear weapons that were lost in accidents and never recovered. And there are at least 6 of them, still out there somewhere. In oceans, in swamps, maybe even buried under your feet. One of the scariest cases? 1958, off the coast of Georgia, USA bomber accidentally dropped a nuclear bomb into the ocean. The government looked for it and never found it. It's still there, waiting, and the scary part? No one really knows if it's still alive. Imagine a fisherman, one day, pulling up that catch. Surprise. Alright, nuclear weapons are bad enough, but what if the next big threat isn't a bomb, but a brain? A mind we created, that decides we're no longer necessary? AI is getting smarter, faster, more independent, and here's the nightmare scenario. What happens when an AI, controlling military systems, decides it knows best? What happens when it chooses to strike first? You might think this is science fiction, but here's the kicker, it's already almost happened. In 2010, a US Air Force base lost communication with 50 nuclear missiles. Just gone, no control, no explanation. For 45 minutes, the world was one step away from disaster. Officially, it was a technical issue, but unofficially, some engineers believe an AI defense system may have overridden the controls. If it had decided to launch, no human could have stopped it. The question isn't if AI will control weapons. It's when, and when it does, will it still need us? We like to believe we're in control, that humanity is rational, but history shows we're not. We build the weapons, we lose them, we let computers make decisions, and time again, we come within inches of wiping ourselves out. But maybe that's the real mystery. Maybe the reason we're still here isn't luck or skill. Maybe someone, is making sure we never go too far. Or maybe, we've just been lucky so far. This has been the Midnight Frequency, supported by Aurora Quantum. Until next time, think twice before you push any buttons. Because sometimes, one mistake is all it takes.